Group E of the World Cup kicks off this Sunday night at Houston's NRG Stadium, where heavily favored Germany faces tournament debutant Curacao. This physical and historic gap between these two footballing squads entering this global tournament is quite simply massive. With a population of roughly 156,000, a landmass 6 times smaller than Rhode Island, Curacao has surpassed Iceland to become the smallest nation to ever qualify for a World Cup. Because of this severe mismatch, placing a standard moneyline bet on Germany to simply win the match offers virtually zero financial return. The outcome is priced as a certainty. To actually extract a return on your investment here, we have to bypass standard betting markets entirely and look at extreme handicap lines. The primary viable financial play on the board is taking Germany on the Asian handicap minus 3.5, priced at even odds of 2.00. This animated chart compares the standard money line to the handicap. Notice the right side. The minus 3.5 line drops the win probability down to 50%. To cover this bet, Germany cannot just win the match. They must win by 4 clear goals. But hitting that strict 4-goal condition doubles the payout, turning a lopsided blowout into an opportunity to double your initial capital. This creates a specific dilemma. Is risking your bankroll on a massive 4-goal blowout supported by the data, or is it a trap against a highly motivated underdog? To answer that, we have to strip away the emotional underdog story and strictly evaluate the raw performance metrics. Under manager Julian Nagelsmann, the German national team executes an incredibly disciplined, high-volume attacking system. They enter the tournament carrying overwhelming momentum, actively riding a 9-match winning streak. This performance scorecard tracks Germany's recent offensive output. Notice the illuminated rows. In 3 of their last 5 games, they have scored 4 or more goals. A major driver behind that scoring rate is Kai Havertz, whose movement constantly creates overloads in the final third. When you pair his distribution with the elite finishing of players like Leroy Sané and Florian Wirtz, the offensive system becomes incredibly difficult to contain. During qualifiers, Germany controlled 67% of the total possession. Chasing the ball for that long physically exhausts opposing defenses over a full 90 minutes. They possess both the exact tactical blueprint and the proven recent form to comfortably clear a 4-goal margin against lower-tier competition. On the other side of the pitch, Curacao manager Dick Advocat relies on a highly organized low block, a strategy that allowed only 3 goals across 6 World Cup qualifying matches. This deep defensive posture could create a highly frustrating first 30 minutes for Germany as they try to break down the dense wall. There is also a distinct mathematical risk. If Curacao manages to score a single goal on a counterattack, Germany is suddenly forced to score 5 to cover the spread. But while Curaçao's defense held up against regional opponents, their recent international friendlies against Scotland and Australia both resulted in brutal 4-0 defeats. Those consecutive 4-goal losses expose the absolute ceiling of a Tier 3 defense when subjected to relentless pressure from top-tier international squads. To decide if this handicap is actually worth betting, we have to look through the lens of expected value. Looking at this probability scale, the bookmaker's odds of 2.00 imply exactly a 50% chance that the minus 3.5 handicap will hit. But our predictive data suggests Germany actually has a 60% probability of covering that spread. That 10% gap is your edge. Over the long run, consistently placing capital on lines with a positive value gap yields a mathematically profitable return. Positive expected value guarantees long-term profitability, but you still have to accept the severe short-term volatility of any single 90-minute match. The short-term trends do support the play, as Germany has successfully covered this exact minus 3.5 line in 2 of their last 5 appearances. Taking the bet is mathematically correct. The data entirely justifies the risk, even if single-game variance means the ticket will occasionally lose. Knowing the math is only half the battle. Now you have to route this data to the right betting strategy based on your own risk tolerance. If you are a value-seeking optimizer, a bettor who cares strictly about the math and ignores the narrative, this match is built for you. This flowchart highlights the optimal path. To maximize ROI, take the minus 3.5 handicap. But for risk-averse bettors wanting to avoid a late Curacao goal, Germany total team goals over 2.5 provides a safer alternative. Aligning the specific bet type with your personal bankroll management strategy is just as crucial as finding the mathematical edge in the first place. This matchup forces a clash between 2 worlds. the romantic narrative of the ultimate World Cup underdog, and the cold, brutal reality of mathematics. Despite their defensive discipline, Curacao simply does not have the capacity to withstand elite, multi-angle attacks for an entire match. Germany's overwhelming squad depth allows them to continually cycle in fresh attackers, exploiting heavy legs in the final 20 minutes to secure the necessary goals. For those willing to accept the natural variance of the sport, taking Germany minus 3.5 is a mathematically sound investment. Successful sports investing requires you to ignore the emotional storyline entirely and place your capital exclusively on the data.